Okay, now that you can hear me, I hate when OBS disconnects from the settings that you have it set on. At any rate, I just did a whole blurb about stuff. Don't remember everything I said, but we are getting ready to react to We Are the Wave. I'm considering it a docu-series. I don't know how close to the true story it actually is. I know it's based on a study that was done in the US, I think in California, and I think it's related to kind of the concept of how we get into these rabbit holes and mob thinking and sucked into these disgusting, unacceptable behaviors and attitudes and thoughts and stuff. That's what I'm thinking it's based on. It's been a while since I've looked it up. There is this TV show, which is 6 episodes, all between 45 minutes and an hour. Believe it's German based. So I may have to have subtitles on, which means a lot of pausing and reading. So we will see if I have to do that or not. I don't read fast, so it does take me a hot minute, which is why I don't like to do subtitles, but I have been wanting to watch this just to see what they show and everything. The only TV show movie that I could find on it, both are German based. And I think it's because Germans have learned from their ways. I shouldn't say their ways. It wasn't not the current people's thinking, but they don't want to repeat what happened during the Nazi movement. And so I think that's why they produced it. I don't know why us in the US have not, but we're going to give this a watch and see what it's all about. And I may try to find something that points out what's factual and what's not in this docuseries. Like I said, I don't know if they call it a docuseries, but I will try to look and see if I can find something that tells what's fact and what's not, just because I know that a lot of these get Hollywoodized. And so, yeah. The other thing I tried to remember to say is that I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you like what you're seeing, please hit subscribe. That being said, don't sit there and say, well, if you start doing this or start doing that, then I might subscribe. Just don't subscribe then, because I'm not going to change being me. This is who I am. You like it or you don't. Uh, I also sometimes multitask, and these next couple of episodes, I am going to be multitasking. We're peeling oranges. It's mundane. I don't have to think about this part, so I can pay attention to what's happening on the screen. Although I may be peeling them slower because I'm having to read subtitles, but I can multitask. Thank you very much. Uh, but if you don't like that sort of thing, then I suggest that you not watch this episode then. So, all that being said, I'm really promoting myself, aren't I? All that being said, let's go ahead and get into it and see if I'm close at all about what this is going to be about. So far, everything's in English. We're drugging a drink
Nobody recognized us.
right off the bat. So it's in English, that's good.
Your ideals. So then Bernd has to take a break whenever his throat is parched.
We are all Germans forever. Let's be proud of it.
We're all Germans forever.
You've all had enough time. And you've wasted it.
So they are dubbing it. So we had a political assassination in the beginning, or drugging. They probably didn't assassinate him yet.
Why aren't you scared of me? Why do you care
For me,
when we all fall asleep? Where did we go?
playing a little Billie Eilish.
You know so much?
Might as well.
Great.
So he's the bad boy, or at least they're making him look like the bad boy. Kind of the Heath Ledger character in 10 Things I Hate About You. Maybe.
I don't like guys myself, but I see you two have a lot of repressed feelings.
Trying to fight the hate. So far, I'm kind of feeling off from what I thought it was going to be about, or at least the way they're presenting it.
Well, an expert on the Algerian War has to know so much about German resistance under National Socialism, right?
Shall we?
So I'm kind of liking him so far. We'll have to see if it stays that way or not. It's one way to get him to move. He's taken one of the books without checking it out. He's good. The sounds like Stranger Things.
Tristan?
Hopefully he does not push her. Been watching too many horror movies lately. Trying to teach her to be her own person. Nine, I can't say that word. Danke. Isn't that also a Hitler book? I think I've seen it mentioned alongside Mein Kampf. I'll have to research that.
Guys like you shouldn't be allowed out at all, if you ask me. Turn around.
So he's
Justice
been
system is
incarcerated.
just too lax.
Oh. So does the fact that the lands don't grow anything have anything to do with things? I mean, I think it could be related to Chernobyl, but I don't think it's that.
And the loner.
The bullies.
So,
Got quite a
Celsius,
few bullies,
have you
don't we?
introduced him to your mom yet?
Your shitty factory has polluted the entire area. All of our fields have been contaminated. Nothing grows anymore, and it's all your fault. Stop this.
It's the same old
So he's
story.
learning
You surpassed
who
the
he
mission
might be able
standards,
to
and by
team
more
up
than a
with.
Fucker. Exactly, you asshole. You ought to be put in jail.
Hagen, Tristan, that's enough. Out. Come on, out. Sorry, sir.
Can't challenge anybody.
A damn factory ruined the fields and the river. All the farms went bankrupt. Organic
So
farmers
is
like us got hit
pollution
the hardest.
from the
Your
factories that
parents
did it.
didn't even try to fight. Guys like him should be getting a whole lot more than paint on their suits, man. If you really want to do something
So
good,
he is
you
recruiting.
just have to let me know, okay?
Bye, Zazie.
Bye.
Bye.
It'd be something I'd do, walk into a pole.
Come on, Leah, faster.
I can't do backhand. I can do 2 forward hands. She's going to read the book some more. Well, I think she's kind of got to read it in private.
You got it. One more.
Hey, guys. Are you really hungry?
Yeah. Shawarma. I'll take you to the best shawarma place.
Shawarma.
Hey, are you nuts?
It looks like they were purposely trying to hit him.
What the fuck?
I don't condone destruction of property. It's not the best way to fight back. He went the other way. Now what about his friends? Did the one double back?
Told you it went that way. How the hell should I know where the motherfucker went? Open your eyes, dude.
What is a ping pong?
I'm going up.
The parents are kind of disconnected.
I've told you 1,000 times, I don't want to hear it. It's in the past now. We lost. And we've had enough.
And have surrendered, apparently.
She gets leverage at the wrist, turns to the side, and pushes him down.
So she's studying how to defend herself against the leader of the pack. No, she's reading it in front of people. Okay.
Yeah, and these designer brands are way better than cheap throwaways. Conditions in the factories in Bangladesh are the real scandal.
So pointing out some of the
You said it
hypocrisy.
changed your life, and yet clearly it didn't. Have we got any ketchup? This rice is so dry.
Ouch.
Cheers.
Ketchup on rice? So the name of the book is Logos No Thanks. So it's not what I thought it was. He's late for curfew again. Throwing out all her Legos. Trying not to be hypocritical. So he's testing how fast the response was. I was going to say, please donate them. Don't just throw them away. So this is the building place. So he's creating a distraction so there'd be a slower response to him breaking into here. What did he leave behind? Is he going to the paper plant now? So what's he in detention for? I didn't catch everybody's name, but I'm wondering what Tristan is incarcerated for. Is it something to do with some kind of organized crime kind of stuff or political stuff or, it looks like it's juvenile detention, although I don't know if that's what they have in Germany, but yeah, just kind of curious. He seemed to align himself with folks who were, Leah's kind of the outlier to this so far as I can tell, other than her wanting to break the mold, and maybe that's what he saw in her. But the other boy seemed to be an outcast, seemed to get picked on, all that kind of stuff. Raheem was picked on because of his looks. The young lady, I didn't catch her name, but she was picked on. So he seems to be collecting folks who seem to be outcasts. And I'm wondering if what we're seeing here is going to build up to what we saw at the very beginning, the attack on the guy at the very beginning. The guy and the girl didn't look familiar, so I don't know if we're going to meet them yet. Are they part of Tristan's team? Are they part of a different team? All that kind of stuff. And it's kind of starting off with the flavor of, and hopefully I'm not spoiling this too much for anybody, but when Negan says, we all think, what did he say? We all start off believing we're the good guy or something like that. So I'm wondering, especially if this is what I think it is, what it's based on, is that where it's kind of headed? So far, interesting. We're learning some well, I can't talk anymore. We're learning some dynamics. We're getting some storyline going. I wonder if that book is a real book. So there is a book called No Logo by Naomi Klein. I think that's the name they said. With a new afterword to the 2002 edition, No Logo employs journalistic savvy and personal testament to detail the insidious practices and far-reaching effects of corporate marketing and the powerful potential of a growing activist sect that will surely alter the course of the 21st century. First published by the World Trade Organization, protests in Seattle. Hold on. First published before the World Trade Center protests in Seattle. This is an infuriating, inspiring, and altogether pioneering work of cultural criticism that investigates money, marketing, and the anti-corporate movement. In so far, some of these themes are what in the US we would call leftist kind of thinking, not giving into corporations and not giving money to corporations that use slave labor and stuff like that. Kind of seeing that trend as well. Okay, and so I don't keep questioning it. I looked to see if I was remembering things correctly, and it's called We Are the Wave, is a German coming-of-age drama web series that is loosely based on the 1981 novel The Wave by Todd Strasser. The series premiered on Netflix November 1st, 2019. The series takes place in the fictitious German city of Meppersfield, or Meppersfeld. It tells the story of a group of teenagers who decide to fight together against injustice and social problems. Another review, this one's on Amazon, The Wave, which is what the experiment was called, based on a true story by Ron Jones, The Classroom Experiment That Went Too Far. The Wave is based on a true incident that occurred in a high school history class in Palo Alto, California in 1969. The powerful forces of group pressure that pervaded many historic movements such as Nazism are recreated in the classroom when history teacher Bert Ross introduces a new system to his students, and before long, the wave, with its rules of strength through discipline, community, and action, sweeps from the classroom through the entire school. And as most of the students join the movement, Laurie Saunders and David Collins recognize the frightening moment of the wave and realize they must stop it before it's too late. They're using that premise for this story, is what it sounds like. And so far, it doesn't seem like a school experiment, but they're just starting it off as teenagers that are getting each other fighting. So it's not fair for me to call it a docu-series, so I will take that back. But it is based on some truth. As we know, every rabbit hole is based on a kernel of truth. It's just where does it go wrong? So that's where we're at with things. I am liking it so far. I'm pulled in. It is dubbed, which is nice. I don't have to worry about trying to read subtitles too much, although I do have to make sure that I'm paying somewhat attention to when they do put like what's on doors and posters and radio and stuff like that. Dubbing sometimes bothers me. There was a show about witches on Netflix that was about, it was teen witches. I can't remember what the name of the show was called, but the dubbing was so far off from the lips that it drove me nuts. Ragnarok, I love, and it's dubbed, but it's dubbed so closely that it looks like they're almost speaking what you're hearing. And so that one I really like. You can tell this one's dubbed. It's not too far off, though, to draw me out of it. So I can kind of pay attention. And the voices seem to match the personalities as well. So that's nice to see. Thank you for enjoying. I can't talk anymore. Thank you for joining me on this first episode, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.